Hey darling, this is Kristen McHarg, and I know you're here because you want to learn how to amplify your feminine magnetism. So to do that, we need to understand that feminine energy has a lot to do with presence. So in tip number 1, we will be cultivating feminine essence through presence, embodiment, and energy. So there are 3 aspects to tip number 1. The first aspect would be to move it into your body. So as you exhale, trace that breath all the way down into the space just below your navel. This is the sacred center of feminine energy, and the breath itself carries us out of the mind and into the body. So again, exhale and settle in to that very sacred space. Now, to make a tangible connection between your mind and your body, make a triangle with your hands and then flip it over and literally place it just down on that sacred center. So your thumbs that are about navel level and the fingers are pointed down in a triangle. So can you soften and feel this sacred center? And then the second aspect of connecting with feminine essence and amplifying tip number 1 would be to start to circulate the hips. So circular movement is decidedly feminine. So this is a really nice thing to do in a chair. Circle your hips and start to awaken that connection of fluidity, which is very much that sensual energy that moves like water. And if you were to walk through a room and allow your hips to sway side to side, you are very much connected to your feminine essence. So we begin here. This is a great place to practice that sensual circular movement. And if you were to move this into public, then it just becomes a little more subtle. So you could just bring your awareness down to your sacred center. And as you breathe, visualize that fluid movement. And then the third aspect of tip number 1, this feminine presence and developing essence, would be to place your hand on your heart. And then just for a moment, close your eyes and massage your heart space and let your heart soften. So as the heart softens, we start to connect with heart energy, which is warmth, abundance, and generosity. So all the qualities of love itself. So if you're connected with the feminine essence center below the navel, you're finding that fluid, sensual circulation that is so feminine, and you're softening and warming your heart, you will definitely be increasing your feminine essence, your magnetism. So that's tip number 1, a full-bodied experience of feminine essence. And tip number 2, to amplify your magnetic energy, would be to just slow down. So as we slow down, we ourselves begin to touch life. And it is truly a gift of the feminine to give permission to everyone around her to also touch life for themselves. And by doing this, we are really offering a beautiful gift to ourselves and to everyone around. So slowing down is tip number 2. And tip number 3, to increase that magnetic attraction, is to practice joyfully receiving. If you think about how independent, self-reliant, and capable you really are, notice the kind of energy that might exude into the world around you. Yes, very competent, but certainly no opening to get closer to that kind of woman, because she doesn't need anyone's help. So, and if you think about it, in so doing, you almost create a shield around yourself of self-reliance. And when you're completely self-reliant, there's no room for a man to feel needed in your life. So tip number 3 is truly to practice joyfully receiving. Let yourself receive what someone has to offer. And if we were to amplify our magnetism, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to receive joyfully from just men. We can just learn to receive joyfully all the time. And in so doing, we literally soften and allow people to feel comfortable coming closer. We create this quality of inviting energy, which is so beautiful and attractive. So those are my 3 tips to increase your feminine magnetism now. I hope you enjoy practicing and using those, because I know women, many of us today have kind of lost track of this very feminine art, this very feminine quality and essence. So enjoy coming home to yourself and have a beautiful, blessed day. Namaste.